For the people listening, what is one thing for themselves to be better at asking questions? What is something that they could do right now, today, before the end of their day, that they can do to be a better interviewer or just conversationalist?
Conversationalist, definitely ask questions with the agenda of actually figuring out the answer to that question or a story that's entertaining if you're in a conversation. If I'm at dinner with people, I just want to elicit personality because I want to get to know them better. I may want to actually know how they started their business, but really I probably can get that later in a one-on-one conversation. But if I'm with other folks, I just want to elicit personality from somebody who's maybe being quiet. So a lot of folks will be like, oh, when did you move here? Well, okay, do you really care how long I've lived in San Jose? Or are you just like, we should be talking right now? So sometimes I'll say, well, I moved here when I decided that I was sick of LA and I wanted to branch out from my company down there. And I met my wife and her family lived up here. So that was about the right time. They don't care like, oh, 2014. They don't care about that.
That's a really great point. So I think what you do as a question asker is actually kind of ask these kind of pointing questions with a big open.
Right.
The thing that I was thinking about, one of my things that I like to do is two different kind of strategies when I'm trying to ask people questions or talk is number one, I make up things about them. And that sounds really strange, but I'll meet someone, I'm like, you really look like a rock climber. And I do this a lot. And you make something up and they say, actually, no, I'm not a rock climber, but I love this. And that just sparks like this whole kind of wide ranging story exploration and frankly builds a really cool relationship.
Yeah.
So I don't want people going out to be like, hey, you look like a serial killer. Like that's probably not a good one, but kind of make assumptions about people and then they'll say no, but then they will open it to something else. The second one I was thinking about is that, where are you from? What do you do? I think just like ask questions that are a little bit more open-ended. So like, hey, what are your favorite highlights of your trip? What were your favorite things to do in Austin? Mm-hmm. And then they'll kind of start from there. And then you go and explore those different pockets.
Definitely. Your job is to sort of either pour water in the cracks and then freeze it so that they open up, right? This is a Michigan analogy. It doesn't work in Austin. People are like, freeze the water outside? No. Or to create space for them to essentially showcase their personality, because otherwise it's a boring conversation, most likely.
The thing I would like to leave the audience with is, what is more resources for just getting better at conversations? Like, is it more like go and watch a YouTube video specifically, or their books or their courses? Like, what do you recommend if you want to improve conversing?
I always recommend hiring coaches wherever possible for something like this. If you're interviewing professionally, if you're just asking questions and becoming a better conversationalist, I think going to improv classes, which teach yes and playing off things other people have said, are great for people who go, I'm freezing up in the moment.
It's like, tell me a good story. It's like, just conversation, interviewing, getting great stories out. And I've noticed as an interviewer, we lead people. If I take you here, you'll go that way.
Yeah.
It's funny because it is a skill.